The EU just agreed to delay its biggest AI rule by 16 months. And the reason is the part worth paying attention to. The industry can't build what the law is asking for fast enough. I am Rajesh, nearly 10,000 hours on Upwork, 50 plus 5-star rated projects for clients around the world. And I have built state of the art multi agent AI products used by tens of thousands of people in production today. Four of those are knowledge graph pipelines. They turn messy, unstructured document into auditable graph where every fact traces back to its source. So here is what the delay is really about. The new high-risk rules don't really land until December 2027 now, instead of this August. But the thing the law asks for didn't change at all. A high-risk AI system has to keep an automatic record of how it reached every decision, which model answered, what data it used, when and who was responsible. And it has to do that for the entire life of the system. The reason you pushed the date back is simple. The tools and standard companies need to actually do this aren't ready yet. Think about what that means for the regulator. Basically said, this is hard to build, so take more time. Now step back from law for a second because this is a bigger story. The thing enterprises are buying AI on has shifted. It used to be how good the answer was. Now, the first question is whether you can show where the answer came from. Gartner even has a name for it, digital provenance. They have flagged it as top trend for this year. It's coming from auditors, from boards, and soon from regulators. Here is where most teams get stuck. They try to add an audit trail to a system that's already built, and that mostly doesn't work. Most AI setups are a model sitting on top of a search over a big pile of text chunks. That kind of system was never built to remember where an answer came from. The logs are scattered, they change over time, and you can't tie one specific answer back to one specific source. So you end up trying to build a paper trail after the fact for a system that was never designed to keep one. You can't easily add that kind of memory to something that was never meant to hold it. This is the whole reason I built on knowledge graphs. When you build on a graph, you are not adding an audit trail on top. The way the data is stored, that's the audit trail. Every fact is a point in the graph, and every point links back to the document it came from. So, when the system gives you an answer, it can show you the exact source, the exact passage, the path it took to get there. The provenance isn't an extra feature I bolted on. It's just a side effect of building it as a graph. And then on June 1st, something happened I have been expecting for a while. Neo4j, the biggest graph database company out there, shipped a tool called Document Intelligence. You point it at your PDFs and it builds a knowledge graph for you in a few minutes with the provenance layer built in. When the largest company in the space ships the exact thing you have been telling people to build, that's a good day. It means the bet was right. The whole industry is moving towards the auditable knowledge graphs now because it's one structure that answers the question everybody started asking. Now, if you want to use this in a regulated setting, there is a detail worth knowing. The preview handles clean, text-only documents, about 20 at a time, 10 to 20 pages each. Tables, multi-column layout, scan pages, image-heavy files, they say that's still coming. And that's not a knock on the tool. Neo4j says it themselves. This is an easy on-ramp, and the deep customized build still take real engineering. Here's why the detail is the whole point. Real enterprise documents are almost never clean. A regulator doesn't care about the contract that passed perfectly. They care about the messy scan, the table buried on page 40, the clause that quietly contradict another one three documents over. Getting provenance right on a clean document makes a nice demo. The real test is the messy ones. That's what decides whether a company can put this in front of a regulator. That's the part I find interesting, and that's where I spend my time. So, if you are betting on AI in your business right now, my advice is simple. Don't try to add an audit trail to the system you already have. Start with something that tracks its own sources from day one. It's far less painful than retrofitting it under a deadline. The tools for this are getting better every month, and the messy real world end of it is where the interesting work is heading. That's what I will keep digging into here. Follow along if that's your world too, and tell me in comments what your messiest document looks like.